Zach Thomson has his sights set on achieving a number of goals on the wrestling mat while attaining his degree at Gettysburg College. But those goals only serve as the foundation for the sophomore's ultimate career aspirations as a member of the U.S. military. A star wrestler at Mechanicsburg High School, Thomson brought his resume to Gettysburg, where he quickly made a mark with one of the best debut seasons by bullet in program history. Competing at 165 pounds, Thomson lost only once during the regular season and claimed individual titles at 3 different tournaments. Named the Centennial Conference Wrestler of the Year, Thomson earned a bid to the NCAA Division III Wrestling Championships in La Crosse, Wisconsin. A favorite to make a run at Gettysburg's first national title in 37 years, he broke the school record for single-season wins with a pin in his national debut. The run came to a crashing halt in his second bout as a shoulder injury limited the use of his arm, and he suffered just his 3rd loss all season. He was forced to withdraw from the event, ending his bid for All-America recognition.
Last year, getting so close to being an All-American and then having it taken away due to an injury, it stung a lot. This year, it's not going to happen.
Thomson had little time to dwell on anything following the conclusion of his first year at Gettysburg. Just 2 days after his last final, he shipped out to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri to begin 14 weeks of training with the Army. Thomson had signed on as a member of the Army Reserves prior to beginning his freshman season at Gettysburg. Thomson spent the first 9 weeks at Fort Leonard Wood undergoing the rigors of basic training. After that, he went through an additional 5 weeks of job training as a combat engineer.
Well, I think it's different than a lot of students here at Gettysburg in that they typically here with some different goals, but he had pretty clear goals when he came here that he wanted to be involved with the military, be involved with wrestling, make those 2 things a big part of his life. And he's followed up on both of those throughout his first year and change here. And I think this summer, his 14 weeks in Missouri has shown that he's serious about this, and I think is getting him prepared for what he wants to do later in life.
I did not think it was going to be as hard as it was. I mean, physically I thought I was in shape, but when I got there, once they start making you do everything, you just kind of take a step back and you're like, oh, wasn't really prepared for this. And the biggest part of it was mental, missing your family and friends, not being able to see them for 3.5 months. So the only way you really have communication is through letters and a phone call that you got on Sunday for 10 minutes. Basic training, it's a lot more mental, and they throw a lot of things at you, kind of like wrestling, where they throw moves at you. In basic training, they throw different skills at you.
Thomson's training taught him how to use equipment and weapons, as well as how to function as a unit. The bullet grappler also went through a tremendous amount of mental and emotional growth during his 14-week stint with the Army.
I can't begin to tell you how much the Army has done for me personally, within just mentally making you a stronger person. You know that you can overcome any challenge, you can face anything. And I feel like that will really help with wrestling. I mean, I had the confidence last year of being a good wrestler, but with the training I did this summer, the mental toughness that they instill in you, it compares to nothing else.
Expect him to take on more of a leadership role for the team this year. We've got a pretty good leadership core in place that he's part of, and I think one thing you can see in any sport is when someone achieves a certain standard of excellence, that they can help bring their teammates along. And my hope is that the success that he's had and his teammates have had will help the new guys on the team and the guys that are still working to get better, that will help them to continue to improve and have some motivation to see that you can be successful here at Gettysburg in wrestling. My goal for Zach is pretty much the same as his goal. We're trying to get him to win the national championship this year. We've had a couple in the past here at Gettysburg, and I think he has the ability and the work ethic to do it, and that's basically the only thing we're focused on from here until March.
Thomson will also have to honor his military obligations while attending Gettysburg. The sophomore missed the Bullets' season debut at King's due to weapons certification. It was a sacrifice he was willing to make for the betterment of his career in the military.
I would like the military to be my career. Once I'm done with school, I would like to switch to active duty. But for right now, the reserves, it works with school and everything. I'm a soldier, first and foremost, so I have to honor my military obligation before I pursue my wrestling.